What's up, everybody? Early Stoppage Boxing here. Today we're going to be doing a little breakdown of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight that is coming up next month. Uh, to get into this, I'm going to hand this off to the resident boxing expert. Take it away.
All right, so first of all, I just wanted to get into like how is this fight even allowed? I've heard a lot of people say that like how did this fight even happen in the first place? Like how can someone so experienced, Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua fight a guy like Jake Paul? Jake Paul, like he's an experienced boxer, but the two levels is is just insane to me, but I think I have a new level of respect for Jake Paul at the same time. And I want to ask you guys, like, what, like, is that something you guys think about at all when, in terms of like, not, not paying a whole lot of attention to boxing in general, but especially this fight? Like, is that something that confuses you? Because even to me, it confuses me a lot.
Yeah, I can jump in. I think that money talks, and I do have a level of respect to Jake Paul for taking this fight because let's be honest, this is a massive step up from every other fucking amount of competition he's had in his life in boxing.
Yes.
It's fucking insane. I think most of his fights were winnable or at least survivable. I don't think that is the case with this one. I don't know why he took this fight.
Yeah. I,
Yeah.
it, like, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, no, my thing is very first glance of this, the one fight that Jake Paul is struggling the most with was the Fury fight. And I think Anthony Joshua is a lot better than Fury. So
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a weird situation. And I think that we all kind of are in the same boat with having the new respect. But at the same time, I think we all know what should happen. It's just now it's to the point is that really gonna happen? If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I also like I just don't understand, how does the Florida State Athletic Commission like approve this? Like what person got this across their desk to approve and sanction and like looked at it on paper and was like, yeah, this is something that this is a competition I want going down.
Maybe it is
There
all
was
about,
For legal reasons. For legal reasons. Like
yeah.
I almost assure you that there was a check taped to the back of the envelope. So, like there has to be, right? It's like, hey, let's make this fight happen, and then there's like a little scribbly note that says "turn around for surprise," and it's just a massive check.
or they hand the fight proposition and then they just hand the projected like sales and tax dollars and money that it would bring. And
Well, that's for sure. This is the money fight. I mean, we've had, it's kind of a weird year because we've had the huge fight that was Canelo Crawford, but if it wasn't for that, this fight might even still compete with that, which is insane.
it probably will, in terms of like how many people watch it. I feel like it definitely could, if not like supersede it. I just don't see how.
That's insane. That's
You
crazy.
know how, bro. I don't know like why, especially like over in Britain. Like people are going insane over there about this fight and like saying so many things that I'll even like I still have to get into. But like supposedly there's a lot going on over there. In terms of over here, it's like, oh, it's Jake Paul, you know.
Yeah.
But like they love Anthony Joshua over there. I like Anthony Joshua, and he also has a lot of fans in America, but especially over there, just there's a big crowd for it,
Yeah.
you know.
Anytime Jake Paul fights, it will always be the novelty of like this is going to be the one he gets put out cold in, and everyone wants to see that.
Yes.
And I
but
think
this
that-
is one where it could actually happen.
I know, yeah.
You know, like that's what is so crazy, and that's why I think people will really gravitate to this. Like they've seen the other ones, they especially like among like most people who think, who watch, I usually hear people say like, oh well, he just fights like old guys and stuff, and like, yeah, he fought Mike Tyson and yada yada, and like that was a super big fight, but everyone knows what that fight was. And it's just I think Jake Paul,
Yeah.
fuck dude, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're good. I think that like especially with the Mike Tyson fight, like that again was another fight where I think people thought that Jake Paul was gonna get fucking flatlined by Mike Tyson. But those like casuals, because like I mean I had
Yeah,
my
let me
dad
rephrase
and
what
some
you
other
just
people
said
saying
there.
that.
Everybody above the age of 45 thought that Jake
Yes,
Paul was going to
yeah.
get flatlined by Mike Tyson.
Yes.
That is what that was about. Because I mean, all of us could say, "Oh yeah, our parents definitely told us, we weren't around for Mike Tyson in his prime, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't realize that the guy was 50 and washed.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those
So
fights that like transcends like people who don't
yeah,
watch sports. Like I had friends who don't really watch any combat sports that were going to tune into that fight and they're like, "Oh my god, Mike Tyson's going to kill him." It's like, "No, brother. No, he is not."
It has that
unfortunately.
cultural impact.
Yes.
That's like people who don't ever watch boxing are drawn, and it gets that sort of sales numbers. But I guess in terms of boxing, I guess I don't know if it would. Now that I think about it, when you put it that way, I don't think this fight could pass up the Mike Tyson fight in terms of metrics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think importance to boxing in terms of like if Anthony Joshua does not win this fight, like so many people will question what they think they know outside of the rigged allegations, which I'll get into. But like I would question everything that I know. I would be like, because he lost his last fight, and it like Anthony Joshua has not had a perfect record, and there's a lot of people who do think like he's on the downturn of his career, but compared to Jake Paul, that means nothing. So if he loses, I will question my existence to a point. All right, I don't even have words for like if he loses and it's like fair and square, no bullshit. Which I do not think this fight is rigged. I do not think that it is worth it for it to be rigged, like
Yeah.
for any party. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if he loses, I don't even know if I'll trust any prediction I make about anything in life ever. I just
It's a valid argument.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really is.
Well, okay, here, let me put this out here. Do you think Jake Paul, I don't want to say good. Do you think Jake Paul is I guess good is the right word. Is he good at
I
boxing?
think he's a capable boxer. That's
Yeah.
what I think. And I think he has the highest level training, highest level nutritionist, like
Mm-hmm.
recovery, like all the
Yes.
things that you need, all the pieces you need to be like a successful athlete. On top of, I think he's built for the big moments. Like he's there for all the attention, he's there for all the people, all the cameras, everything, and that's not something that phases him at all. So he can do these big money fights and also be good, good in terms of having to get up there and actually box someone, under
Mm-hmm.
all those lights with all that pressure.
Yeah.
I think like that combination has made him a decent boxer. Like would I say like there's a reason why he's not competing with the top at his weight division because he couldn't. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that he took this fight is just like it's baffling to me. But he took it for a reason, and that's where I'm like I do put in if Jake wins like as a, like a possibility because of that fact. Like what I just don't understand why he just get in there and be like, oh, I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out if he fully believes like he believes his bullshit, he believes it, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying I can respect it because like that's gonna give him more of a chance than if he didn't. So
Yeah. I completely agree. It's
but
it's interesting. Like I think that I mean his footwork is ass. We've seen that, but like he has, like you said, he has the fundamentals. He has the backing. He has the time. He has the money to invest in just making himself a capable fighter. Like there's just you're so right. There's no
yes.
better way to put it. And I think that like that's carried him so far against people like fucking Mike Perry, who
Yeah, washed up, but like a fighter. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like he's a fighter, and so
it's a different
yeah,
deal
I
though
do
with
agree.
Anthony
I do
Joshua.
agree.
God
Yes,
damn.
yes, totally different deal. But I think if we're talking, like, we can talk about like Jake Paul is a fighter. That's one thing that like for the longest time I didn't want to admit. But he
Yeah.
fights. Now quality of opponents is questionable, but if this fight, and also another thing, this fight's really short notice. I think some people are forgetting that like this fight could get canceled,
Yeah.
like for some reason or things falling through. Like it's official, and the fact that it's official is also crazy because Anthony Joshua is traditionally a DAZN fighter. Like he hasn't been able to take other big money fights because of that,
Yep.
and the fact that they're willing to go over to Netflix, making Jake kind of like the A side of this fight, which is also crazy. But
So I
like,
don't know enough to know. Like, do you know how these promotions are able to make this kind of money where these deals don't matter anymore. Is this a testament to Jake's star power? Because clearly he can draw in insane views.
I can't think of it like any other way than that's the case, especially like if they're going to Netflix. It'd be one thing if Jake was going to DAZN, then it'd be like, to me that would mean more of like Jake is willing to like bring himself to that, like, hey, I'm competing over here, in the sense of like it'd be a co-promotion, but like DAZN primarily promotes it, but it's Netflix, like it's on Netflix. So I think that is a testament to his star power and what he's capable. Like what, especially these big promotions think like and believe in his capabilities and his ability to carry a fight like that. Like promote a fight like that and do all the things to like actually make the fight produce money and all those things. So
yeah, damn, what a weird deal.
And short notice too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's insane.
I wanted to ask you, I guess this is mostly about the fight itself, or maybe the logistics of the fight, I guess you could say. Jake Paul fights, like, what does he weigh in usually? Like around 200 pounds, right?
I think, I think he was like 220.
Yeah.
I think that's what he weighed in for his last fight.
If you look at the fights that he ends up winning by KO or knocking people down in, it's all guys that whenever they were in their primes were fighting at like 155 pounds.
Yes.
That are not typical 200-pound dudes. Anthony Joshua is a legit heavyweight at like 250 something pounds and has legit heavyweight power.
Yes.
And
now
so
for this fight, he can only be 245, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
So but that's still just an insane
it's still
jump.
Insane.
If you look like what do you rank as his best win? I guess it would be my thing. Like what is the most impressive win for you?
Jake Paul's most impressive win. See, that's a difficult one. Here, let me go check just to make sure I have my
Because I would say beating up a washed up Julio Cesar Chavez is fine.
I think
Mike Tyson,
I think Tommy Fury, for when he fought him, was like, even though he didn't win, I think that was like, to me, his best fight, just because of the fact that like he fought a real fighter. Like Tommy Fury is not an amazing boxer, but he fought a real fighter and like it was real competition. And even if you think like Tommy Fury didn't fully show up, which he probably didn't, like he's also like Tommy Fury is also just not that amazing in the first place. But that was like, in terms of like quality of opponent, I think that was probably his best.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that and at the time of the fight happening, Tommy Fury is the hardest fight that he's had, and that's the one fight that he's lost, right? And I think that other than that, in my opinion, you're really just picking up between a bunch of washed up fighters, and I think the hardest win might be Mike Perry. And
because
he beat up Mike Perry, but Mike Perry was at least active at the time. And I just wanted to throw out, so Tommy Fury is 6 foot. Michael Perry, I think, is like 5'10". Anthony Joshua is 6'6". And like, it's
not including range, because Jake Paul is always used to having the range.
I'm not even speaking about that. I'm just saying, like, just pure size in general, right?
Yes.
And I haven't really seen anything, because Tommy Fury is also one of the bigger guys that Jake Paul's ever fought. All these other guys are small dudes, like genuinely small guys, and I don't see any world other than money why this fight's really happening. Because if any logical way of looking at this fight, you're like, Anthony Joshua is going to win this. Experience level, like honestly, just experience level, the quality of opponents. Anthony Joshua has fought like the heavyweights, Usyk, Dubois, all these dudes. I don't see any way that Jake Paul wins this fight. Is it coming from you? Is there any possible way Jake Paul could win this fight?
No, there shouldn't be. There should not be. I will say this over and over again. There should not be. But the fact that we live in a world where nothing is guaranteed, I will not say that there's not a possibility, especially if Jake believes he can win. that's the crazy part. I don't think he will, but the fact that he does, and say like Anthony Joshua doesn't take him seriously at all, which I do not think would happen, or Anthony Joshua has some shit in his camp because this is a short camp for him, which I mean, like Eddie
Dude.
Hearn, has been talking that he saying that he wants Anthony Joshua to take a fight that's like a relatively easy fight, but this is a big risk fight, and that's the thing that's crazy for me is like people say that this could tarnish Anthony Joshua's even if it goes like a round or two, like, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong because like that is, and that's why that's why I think it's a high risk, like that he'd be willing to tarnish his legacy. Say he doesn't show up the first round, he just fucks around. That gives people the ability to think like, holy shit, Jake Paul went around with him. Jake Paul went 3 rounds with him. I'd say like if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out within the first like 2-3 rounds, like people will really start to doubt. Like I'll start to doubt in terms of like big picture, like what the fuck is going on with boxing right now.
Well, and like we've seen this before where somebody like comes in and just completely underestimates their opponent. I'm thinking specifically of Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Where like it turned out to be a much harder fight than it was because Francis Ngannou showed the fuck up. And who knows if Jake Paul will do that. Like you never know.
Even then, though, I mean, even
I agree, it's a different situation, but
no, I mean, you think about that. Ngannou's also like a legitimate heavyweight,
yes,
fighting against another legitimate heavyweight, and we see this too. Like we joked around with being early stoppage boxing, but this is majority like MMA channel. Like we see it all the time in MMA where someone underestimates an opponent and then loses the fight. But also, they're all active fighters in their real weight classes.
Yeah, like it's
Jake Paul is not like I don't know nearly enough about this to like say anything about it. But when was the last time Anthony Joshua fought somebody at Jake Paul's size? Like I just
probably...
I mean Usyk's not even a big heavyweight, but he's bigger than Jake Paul. Like that's kind of my thing is that Jake Paul is undersized in this fight, and I just in my opinion, if Jake Paul wins this fight. And I know that this is the ultimate, I'm a 45-year-old father of 3. But if Jake Paul wins this fight, like this, there had to be something, bro. There's no way that he wins this fight. I really just don't believe it.
Well, also, okay, so one more question for me.
And that's what I'm saying.
What's I'm not familiar enough with the landscape of drug testing in the high levels of boxing. Jake Paul is obviously on fucking roids. Like, I mean, he's got fucking zits all over. He's busting at the fucking seams.
That's one thing that I feel like I'm a little uneducated about in terms of you don't hear a lot of chatter about it. I'm trying to think. I think it's up to the state athletic commission.
Okay.
I believe like per commission.
Oh,
well, that's not very helpful in the regulation desert that is Florida.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why this fight's going on in Florida in the first place. Nowhere else would allow that shit.
100% sure. True. I wanted to make a point too because you said that if Jake Paul goes into this fight like really believing he could win, that it's you never know. I would believe I could beat Anthony Joshua for $70 million. I'd be like, yeah.
Well, you don't need to believe it to get the $70 million though.
But I would tell anybody in this world.
Yeah, you'll tell them.
I would lie to anybody and
would
say,
you sign yourself up for the fight?
I would, yes, dude. For $70 million, I would do anything. Are you kidding me? It's just such a crazy.
But I'm talking about bodily harm. Dude.
Yes, that's fine. I assure you that it would not last long, me and Anthony Joshua in there. And I don't think that this fight will last long. And if it does last long, I think it's because there's let's play around for 5-6 rounds and then we could really turn it up. Okay. I guess what I'm getting to here is if you're Jake Paul, what's your game plan? You're going into this fight with a proven heavyweight with Anthony Joshua. He's coming off the loss to Dubois. Sure, he got beat up by Dubois. But what's the game plan here? You look back at all of Joshua's fights. Is there any way to win?
Simple answer. Get fucking lucky. That's it. Like to me at least, is you get lucky and you hit him on the chin and he doesn't get back up, which I don't think Jake Paul will be capable of finding that shot.
No,
but the fact that just that's all it takes is why that would be the game plan. Like, I don't know what you say in a corner, like as a coach, be like, all right, we're taking this fight. What the fuck is a game plan? I don't know. Stay safe. Like, try to stay safe. Hope that he doesn't try to knock you out. Like, if you actually care about your fighter's health, or are you telling them like, all right, we're just gonna step in and we're gonna throw shit, and we know that we might get knocked out, but if you get fucking lucky and you clip him right, even if he doesn't like go out, if you rock him and you rock him good, or even just land any sort of combination or significant punch, you got something, that's really it. And so there's really no strategy. There's no strategy. You just go.
It's just crazy to me. I'm coming from a very like extremely casual perspective of professional boxing here, but why are we all talking about this fight then? I really like. I get that it's crazy, but I'm sure
because it's crazy. That's it. Because it makes no fucking sense.
That's the thing, though. Is like you don't think that this has ever happened before. Like if you go look at any of these fighters, like any of these fights, really, like they fight fucking randos all the time that are smaller than them. It's obvious that it's the Jake Paul name and that there's a lot of money in this and Netflix is promoting it, sure. But I don't give a shit, dude. I'll be honest. I don't care. I don't care about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua. And I don't even dislike Jake Paul. I think that he's done only good for boxing. Truly. I think that what he's done for boxing is good for it. But at the same time, I don't trust fucking real boxing, and I don't trust any of this. I don't understand.
That is a fair point. That is a very fair point. But at the end of the day, whether you care or not, there are tons of people who do care.
I get it. I'm making my
and that's what I'm saying. Yes, and your point is correct. But I mean, I think it's one of those things of like, I don't fucking know why people give a shit. I know why I will talk about it. It's because I love boxing and like I like watching Anthony Joshua. So it's simple. Like, he's taking his next fight. It's with fucking Jake Paul. That's insane. But it's also just the spectacle. It's not about really boxing in and of itself, in my opinion. It's the spectacle of Jake Paul. Like, at the time, this is one thing that I've been seeing a lot. At the time that Anthony Joshua was winning the unified belt, Jake Paul was on the red carpet for fucking Disney, like taking pictures. That's the crazy part. That's the part that's like, what the fuck is going on? Especially with the way that Anthony Joshua finishes people.
There's a clear. It's very obvious that Jake Paul is a fighter. I never have liked the argument saying that he isn't a fighter, because he's fighting dudes that, regardless of if they have grandkids, they still know how to fight, right? And he's putting on a show and fighting them. Therefore, he's a boxer. Sure. But like, it's also, you got fucking millions of dollars. You could just live in Puerto Rico and train all day.
That's what's kind of respectable. Like,
no, I'm saying this as a benefit of Jake Paul.
Oh, I see.
I'm saying this in favor of him. Like, that's fine.
Here's what I'm saying is, like, the fact that he can do that and he still takes this fight. That's insane.
Because he's getting paid fucking millions of dollars. But like,
no matter what, he still has to be okay with getting knocked the fuck out. Like, most likely getting knocked the fuck out. What if he's not?
What if he's not? I want to hear your point. We've talked about this. I want to hear your point, because I truly, and I want to hear what you guys think. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to shut up for a little bit. There's no way that this fight gets booked without some kind of agreement of like, hey, don't fucking put me to sleep in round one. Like, we all here understand, because there's just no way that he's that fucking delusional. It's not possible. He's been in there with guys like Tommy Fury and been hit by those guys. He's got to know that Anthony Joshua has been there and done that against, like, the fucking dudes. Like, do you think that this is going to be rigged in any way that we're not going to hear about?
I think it's not necessarily the highest probability that it is rigged. I think it'd be more likely for it to get canceled or, some sort of complication or some shit like that before it was rigged. Just because of the fact that I don't think it'd be worth it to rig it in that sense, because
what do you mean?
It'd be too obvious.
You're getting $75 million.
It would be too obvious. But it
You
would be
get
too
$75
obvious,
million.
and they ruin the
Hey, please
whole.
don't
I
put
think
me to
it would.
sleep and
yeah.
ruin
It
my
would
brain.
ruin the integrity of DAZN. Think about this. It would ruin the integrity of DAZN. It would ruin the integrity of Anthony Joshua. It would ruin the integrity of Eddie Hearn, like big players in boxing, like Jake, his whole boxing career. Because I don't think that's something that just like
Dude,
gets
you don't
passed
think that
over.
like
Is like
oh,
is that it's rigged.
I
Like I
said I
don't
was
think
going to be quiet,
people
but
won't
this
tune
this
in.
is the only part of this fight
People
that I
won't
actually
tune
care
in.
about.
I'm not going to tune in if this fight is rigged. I know plenty of people will just stop giving a fuck because they'll realize, damn, that's some bullshit. I don't think Jake Paul is going to
So
go
what do you
to
think?
the decision.
You think that
with,
you think Jake Paul's going into this fight like 100% okay with I'm probably going to get put to sleep in
I
the
think
first
he's
3
that
rounds.
delusional. If that's what I think.
Well, yeah,
I
I'm willing to believe
just
he's
don't
that
believe that.
delusional.
I don't believe that
I'm
for a
willing to
second,
believe
to be
he's that
honest with you.
delusional.
I really don't believe that.
I am also willing to believe he's that delusional because you have to keep in mind in Jake Paul's head, he just came off of beating Mike Tyson at one point, and undisputed heavyweight champ with a full
Mike
camp.
Tyson's 72,
I
bro.
know, and that doesn't matter to Jake Paul because in his head he's like, I just beat Mike Tyson on a full camp, and now
And
I'm
on
taking on
paper-
Anthony Joshua on short notice. I have a
Yeah,
chance.
he's
and
had a
he's been
camp.
preparing
Here's what you have to
to
remember.
fight another good fighter in Gervonta Davis, right?
Yeah,
So-
Gervonta Davis is
Yes.
fucking. My sister's
But
bigger
tiny.
than Gervonta Davis.
He is,
I-
but
I-
he's been in camp for that, so he's been
Yeah,
training.
but that's still in a fight camp. This is not short notice for Jake Paul, and frankly, it shouldn't fucking matter for Anthony Joshua if this is short notice. Anthony Joshua should be able to step in after having 4 beers and still beat up Jake Paul. I don't understand that. I'm so like I
But
sound
you're,
like
you're making rigged accusations before the fight even happens. Okay.
yes, because all right.
I'm also with you that I think that the rigged, like the risk of rigging a fight would be so high because it would completely take away the mystique of a Jake Paul fight. Because right now it's believable enough that it's real that people will tune in, and if it's confirmed that it is rigged, that it is fake, that goes away. Because then people will be like, "Oh, this guy's never gonna lose." You know what I mean? This guy's never gonna fucking
and then no
lose.
one's gonna tune in.
Exactly.
No one's gonna give a fuck about.
He
signing
has
up to
lost.
Netflix to watch it. Jake
Yes.
Paul, yes, but like that was before this. Like this, Jake Paul against Tommy Fury was a different like game plan in terms of the entirety of his career. There was never a chance in hell that anyone thought he was gonna fight Mike Tyson in like these massive money fights because he was not. No one was back then. No one was. If he called any of them out, they were not showing up.
Yeah.
You know.
Also,
but now he's at that level.
exactly, and I think that the loss to Tyson Fury, well, I think that fight was real. Like I think Tyson Fury is a very like reasonable matchup for Jake Paul to do well in, just straight up. So like, of course he lost in it. It was a close fight. It was real, I think.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. In those moments, like in that situation, he was able to fight a dude like that surely because I think he's like very well attuned to like all the pressure and like the craziness of it. And so that's where I'm saying like in the sense of him believing in himself, this fight, that's what he's going to be able to do because that's his skill set. Like that's his biggest mental skill set in my opinion.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, and, like even if he does lose this, like say he loses this, like it makes so much more sense not to rig it if you're Jake Paul because then you go in, you lose this fight, it's an obvious fight. Then you come back and you take another hard fight, but a winnable fight against somebody like that is somewhat good, but that he could realistically beat because of his size.
Himself.
Well, and then boom, Netflix documentary, millions of dollars. The
And
ride,
also
the
just
comeback
like if
of
he
Jake
actually
Paul.
wants to become a champion, like a unified champion, that would be the path, wouldn't it? Like start with someone like Anthony Joshua. Say he does lose, or say he survives. You know,
Yeah.
boom, he gets his next fight. He gets to fight like someone who's actually ranked. You know, maybe a little bit of a name.
Yeah.
You know, you never really know, or take another money fight.
Yeah.
And then fight someone like that.
Yeah, because
It just
realistically,
leaves so many more opportunities for legitimacy, and that's what he's searching for, really.
yeah, like imagine Jake Paul survives this fight, survives the whole thing, and let's say he gets one good shot on Anthony Joshua. Respect earned. I can almost guarantee no one's going to clown on him. Everybody will give him kudos and be like, damn, I did not think he was going to do that well.
Yeah, but okay. If he survives, how many rounds is this fight? 8 rounds, right? If he survives 8 rounds, is that not fishy a little bit to you guys?
Yes,
Because we've all been talking.
I'll be watching.
We've all been talking this whole entire time Like, there's no path to victory for Jake Paul
I mean,
unless it's rigged.
it depends, I guess,
Do
how
you
he
have
goes
like
out
a
there and
genuine
it depends how he goes out there
like?
and fights. Because, like, what if he goes out there and he has just only worked on his, like, defense, like, the entire
Yeah,
time?
or just
Yeah, but
staying
then
out
there's
of the
no.
way.
How are you gonna
Yeah.
win that? How
He,
are you
well,
gonna
he,
win the fight still?
yeah.
But there's still no. If you don't throw punches, you
Yeah,
can't
he's not
win.
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm saying he still survived.
He
Yeah.
survived, sure. He could survive for 8 rounds and run in circles.
But
Sure.
that's really hard.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Like,
it's easy.
You know?
I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's easy.
I don't
truly
like
think
I'm not
that
a big Jake Paul fan, but I'm just saying, like, he took the fight for a reason. And
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah.
concerning me. Like, that's what's
$75 million
confusing.
is the reason. I mean, I don't think that. I think it's that simple. I think that Jake Paul realizes, hey, I could go in, make all this money from a big Anthony Joshua fight, because they want this exact same thing. They want us to be sitting here arguing, oh, he believes he could win, he could do all this stuff. He's going to throw out a, hey, if I get hurt, don't fucking put me to sleep in the contract. I'm not saying that it's going to be completely rigged, but it's, hey, don't put me to sleep, whatever.
And then the ref steps in early.
And the ref steps in
like,
early,
"Oh!"
and then he's like, oh, what the hell happened? But then he wakes up the next morning to $80 million in his bank account, and it's like, fucking idiots. Fucking Netflix got you.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just
don't see any other.
I think we need evidence.
Simple.
I mean, really, you need evidence. Like, to me, at least, you need evidence to prove it, and that's like an after the fact thing. So I'll look at this fight, like, and then up until the point where the fight is over, I'll look at this fight as a legitimate fight, and then whatever happens after, that's how you're really gonna determine something like that. Like, if whether it's rigged or not, we can't know. Like, right now, is it rigged? And I'm assuming I just really think it's not, because all the money stops after this point. It's not like this fight like will make everyone who's involved, all the different parties will make them all satisfied for the rest of their existence in terms of like profits. You know what I'm saying? And if they rig this and it gets found out in any way, shape, or form, which it inevitably will, at some point that flow of money and popularity and influence stops, because people are not going to give a shit, really.
Yeah.
Like, not as much as they used to, at least.
Yeah, and something else to consider too with the whole flow money thing is that, like, people can bet on this, and that gives it a sense of legitimacy. So, like, if it was rigged and that came out, that fucking money has to go back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. People are going to federal fucking prison,
Yeah.
as Dana White would say.
As you would say.
I have one more argument, and then I'm really out of this conversation because it's the only thing I care about.
It's about time to wind it down.
I agree. So, if there is a single heavyweight boxer with a name that I think would take a rigged fight with Jake Paul, it's Anthony Joshua. Coming off of getting beat up by Dubois, he's solidified himself enough to boxing fans. You know who Anthony Joshua is for sure. If you're a real, like, if you're not like a super casual boxing fan, you know who Anthony Joshua is. Mm-hmm. That it's a big enough name for Jake Paul to be like, hey, you're the perfect guy. You're coming off the loss. Do you want to make millions? Just don't kill me. Like, is there any world that either of you could see him getting into there with like at the minimum, like Francis Ngannou, who's not even a boxer, or like Usyk, who's actually kind of Jake Paul's size? Usyk would not take this fight. If Usyk fights Jake Paul, I will have no choice but to hop on the bandwagon, right? I just don't think Anthony Joshua is not enough for me to be like, oh, dude, Jake Paul's fucking legit. I still don't think of him as legit, because I don't think the fight's legit. Frankly,
I can respect your opinion. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think right now I'm choosing to believe it's real because, one, who wouldn't love to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out? Like, I get it. It'd be entertaining. It'd be really good entertainment, and I'd be happy. I'd be satisfied with what I got to see. And so I'd like to hold out hope for that to a certain extent. That's my bias.
Okay.
So,
damn, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, let's finish it off if we're all good here.
Yeah.
Let's get our final predictions for this fight, dude.
All right. I'll go first. I'm going to pick Jake Paul by round 1 submission.
Hey, I love it. Dude, Dylan Dennis double leg. I love it.
That'd be sweet.
All right. I will. I think I'm just gonna go for the memes. I'm gonna say Anthony Joshua by like split decision.
Okay.
I think Anthony Joshua will win this fight, but I think it's gonna be like I think for sure it'll be a split decision.
Cool.
That's pretty good. I'd say, I mean, it's just a simple answer, and because this is what I'm rooting for. I think it'd be great. It'd be great entertainment, and I'd honestly pay an entire pay per view of a UFC main card just to see Jake Paul get knocked out. That's how much it's worth. It'd be worth my money, about $80.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think you're getting it, brother. I don't think you're getting it, brother. But
So, we'll pray to God. Hopefully, Jake Paul gets knocked out and he'll stand up, and I'll respect him. He went in there. I don't know if I would do that. I like living, and I like living with the majority of my gray matter intact and not
dude,
turned to applesauce.
your brain will be healed with like 5 of your $70 million that you're gonna make. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Unfortunately, that's not how that works. Neurons
That's
don't
how
just
Jake.
magically
That's how
reappear.
Jake Paul's fucking tiny brain works, dude. This fight's fucking stupid, bro. In this video,
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below with your prediction, and let us know if you want to see more boxing content from us. Yeah, everybody. Thanks for watching. It's every day, bro. Peace.